Another week and another video and another day closer to us meeting in person on May 31st. And as we announced last week, we are preparing for that. We've begun those preparations even last week as we kind of rearrange our worship center, rearrange just our entire building to get ready. As you can see behind me, I'm standing right here at the northwest entrance of our worship center. So as you come in from our north entrance, you come down the hallway, and this is, if you notice, this looks a bit different than the last time that you came here. If you see the cross there behind the pulpit, and then we have our mission statement up on the wall, and so it's going to look a bit different when you come back. And not only that, but things are going to be a bit different procedurally and with our facility. I want to let you know that we're going to send out an email to you today with a lot of details about what our first Sunday morning will look like. I wanted to give you a few of those things now and then send the rest to you in an email. First, our service times will be altered a little bit. So we will still have 2 services as we've normally had, but our times will be 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. So we've expanded just for a few minutes to a little bit of more time between the 2 services so that we have plenty of time to get everyone out, to make sure that we sanitize things properly, to allow you to continue visiting outside, but also to have plenty of time to clean and for the next service to come in. So those are our service times, so you want to make note of that. And as we've said before, we have our live stream, and it will continue as we continue to meet in service. So we will have that available just as it's always been on our YouTube channel. So we invite you, if you're not ready to come back, if you're not able to come back because of health concerns, or you're part of a vulnerable population or have underlying health concerns or caring for folks, we encourage you to continue to stream online, and we'll be ready to welcome you back when that time comes. So know that. Just a few things procedurally. For the time being, we will not have Crossway Kids in our nursery ministry, at least for the first few weeks as we come back together. So similar to what we said last week, we will really focus on gathering together and worshiping together as a family of God. We will also have some overflow areas. So to give you an understanding of what it will look like. So in our worship center, you can see where we've begun arranging the chairs and taking out chairs in order to accommodate the regulations set by the county, to have the proper social distancing and all of those things to take that into account. So we've begun that process, and so that means we can only hold probably 70 to 75 people in the worship center. So that means that we will also have overflow rooms. So in our youth room, that will now be an overflow room where we will have the service streamed, and we'll have about 20 people that can sit there. And then downstairs in our kids area, so we're not going to have our programming downstairs, but we are going to make our downstairs available, both the classrooms and the general area in the middle, for families to come downstairs. So during first hour or second hour, if you want to come upstairs and you're thinking, man, it's just not, my kids are young, I need a place for them to just maybe move around a little bit and they can be more disruptive. So we invite you to come downstairs. We have things available there. We have a couple of families in the room at a time that can be there together and play and watch the service on our televisions there. So just so you know that it's going to look different, and if you want to bring your kids, and we don't have our kids ministry, we will have space available for family, space available for general overflow as well. So you need to know that. Another thing to know is, we're not going to be taking offering in our normal way. So we're going to have our offering boxes in the back that we will collect at the end. You'll feel free to put your offering there. I know many of you have already been giving online, have switched to giving online. So we just encourage you to continue to do that. That's working well, and that's good for our planning purposes. That's helpful for us. Another thing to note is about masks. Now, we encourage you, many of you, if you go into a store, you wear a mask, and We encourage you to, if you would like to wear a mask, feel free to do so. We're not requiring masks during our worship service, so that's something to keep in mind. But again, if you feel comfortable or you feel that's something that you would like to do, we want to encourage that. And we want you to be able and free to do that. We'll have hand sanitizer available in different places in the church, in order for you to use those things. And another thing that we'll do, and really will be important, is, as we're seated, right? So we have, as you can see there, and we began that process, is we're going to have, really spaces between the seats. We're going to have seats of, 2 and 3, seats of 4 and 5 for different families. One thing to keep in mind is, we will have deacons and other ushers available to kind of help you find a seat that fits, the size of your family. So that's very important because we want to utilize as much seating as we can, right, in our worship center. So that's something to keep in mind, and we're going to help guide you through that process. And that means as we leave, right, it's going to look a little bit different. So we're going to dismiss by section, kind of by row, and we'll make that pretty obvious on Sunday morning on the 31st. And really in order to just make sure that everyone is keeping their space as they leave. And as you leave, we encourage you to go outside. If the weather is nice, not to congregate in the hallways, but to really to make your way outside and in the parking lots in our grassy area, weather permitting. That's a great place to just stand and visit together. And the quicker that we kind of clear out of the building, the easier it will be for folks to clean and to get things prepared for the next service. So some things to keep in mind. And again, this is a lot of detail. We're gonna send this out via email this afternoon, and you will have all of this in front of you. So again, we're excited. We've been praying for you. We've been praying for this day for quite a while. Know that pray for the Lord's wisdom. We've had some great meetings as a staff and an elder team thinking through these details. We invite you, if you have any questions for us, please reach out and let us know how we can pray for you, how any questions about the procedure and what that will look like. We'll try to get more information out to you as well. So again, I'm excited for the 31st. We are ready. We are excited to come back together, and we look forward to worshiping the Lord again soon.